Hello there ladies and gentlemen, my name is of course Stuart of Tooltech Gaming and welcome to the ArmA 3 performance video played on the Apocalypse PC. This came as a request from Mitch Gaming, thank you very much, and I'll be showcasing the video on the settings Ultra, Very High and High. Please take note that I turn off all radio blur and rotational blur. I absolutely hate blur, it's the worst thing ever to come to gaming. Switch it off, it's no good for anyone. ArmA 3 is very CPU heavy, and so is my recording software, therefore it conflicts with each other and the game doesn't perform to its best. The frame rates will be lower than they actually are, but I'll explain this as the video goes on. So without further ado, let's get into the video. So I'm going to be breaking this video into two sections, one on foot and the second in air. First of all, we're taking a look at on foot in ultra settings. This is in the city of Kavala. This is the biggest built up place on Altis. Yes, Altis, not Stratis, it's Altis. And as you can see, we are getting a solid 40 to 50 frames per second, sometimes even more, and this is while recording. I can tell you now, sometimes you will get 60 while I'm not recording, but as you can see, it's absolutely running very smoothly. It looks all very good, and the textures on this character are absolutely gorgeous. The city looks good itself, very good indeed, and as you can see, even when zoomed in, you can easily get 55 frames per second, and you can see a very, very great deal of distance. Great deal of distance, good English there. But it looks absolutely splendid, and we're going to take a look at it in very high. Now in very high settings, you can see we're lacking a little bit of texture, not a great deal. It still looks absolutely fantastic. ArmA 3 on very high settings. The character model still looks absolutely brilliant, and we are getting a solid 50 frames per second. There are no drops whatsoever, and as you can see here, we're getting 60. As we zoom in, you'll drop down into the 40s, but zoom back up to the 50s and going beyond 60 then. And I don't know how that happened because I locked my frames to 60 frames. Interesting. But very high, like I said, if you cannot run it in ultra, very high settings is absolutely brilliant on ArmA 3. Now we've dropped down to high settings, and as you can see again, we're taking a bit of hit on the graphical side. Not too much, it still absolutely looks fantastic. You cannot see as far into the distance. Let me just sprint up here and I will show you what I mean if I can find that mountain again that I was looking at in ultra settings. Just quickly cut through here. But as you can see, the texture models, the textures on the model still look absolutely fantastic. There are no issues there, but as you can see, you cannot see as far into the distance. That's the only real slight difference between these graphical settings, is that you cannot see as far, and well, the textures aren't as good, but still all looks absolutely fantastic on high settings. Now going from ultra to high settings, we are literally losing the clouds, textures, the textures on the model, the shadows, the bloom of the game, and also the drawing distance. But ultimately the game looks stunning on any of the graphical settings. So playing the game on ultra settings while flying, as you can see, it looks absolutely glorious, and while recording we're actually hitting a stable frame rate of 40 frames per second. Sometimes it'll drop down to 35 and sometimes you'll get 55 while not recording. The only problem is with this game that I have found is when you zoom into an area, it'll take a minute to load in and can possibly drop down to 25 frames per second, but once it's loaded it will jump back up to 50 odd frames per second as we've got here whilst recording, which is absolutely quality. The game looks absolutely beautiful on ultra settings while flying. There is no issues with it whatsoever on the Apocalypse PC. But let's go and take a look at very high. Playing the game on very high, we have dropped in a little bit graphically wise. You can't see as far, but we are getting much better frames this time. 60 frames solid. Well, sometimes drops down to 50 odd, but we do not go below 50 frames per second. Let's just see what happens when we do zoom in. As you can see, it dropped down to about 45 frames, but soon, once it's loaded, jumps back up to 60. The game still looks absolutely gorgeous on very high settings. There is no issues with this whatsoever. So if you are struggling to play it on ultra, you can drop down to very high with not much sacrifice graphically wise. Now we have dropped down to the settings that are high, or high settings. That was a bit of a weird way of saying it. And as you can see, we have taken a bit of a hit what we can see in the distance. You can't see as far. It's a bit more gloomy, I would say. But overall, we are still hitting a solid 60 frames per second. We zoom in, drops back down to 45 again, but soon gets back up. You would be, or I would be, getting a lot more frames than this if I didn't lock my frame rate at 60 frames per second. Overall, the game still looks absolutely fantastic on high settings. There are no issues with this whatsoever. You may struggle to see infantry on the ground unless you zoom in, of course, but it does look bloody damn good, you must admit. And the cockpit still looks absolutely gorgeous. Again, going from ultra to high settings, we're just losing that drawing distance, a bit of the textures, the shadows and the clouds, but ultimately the game still looks absolutely superb on high settings. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen, this has been the ArmA 3 performance video played on the Apocalypse PC. I hope you've enjoyed the video and it's helped you out, and if so, don't forget to leave a like, share with your friends and also subscribe to my channel. My name is, of course, Stuart of Tooltech Gaming, and I shall see you all in the next video. Take care. Goodbye.
300 meters, southwest.
Broadway, Kilo 1. We've got eyes on. Taking fire here. Broadway, we're taking full on fire. We are returning fire. Kilo 1, Broadway. Broadway. She's done it. Let's fight here. West. Hard. 4 to me. West.